Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is The Last Raider. We are back with another video. And today, oh boy, today we still have people perpetuating this stupid-ass lie and getting bitch slapped for it. What is the lie? The lie is that men don't like women in video games. This is some shit that was perpetrated by Anita Sarkeesian. If you want to know the mentality of this nonsense, you have a fake gamer girl who openly admits that she's never played video games before. Not this chick, Anita Sarkeesian. And Anita Sarkeesian admits she's never played video games before, had to study up on video games, and in doing so, she then turns around and states that, she goes in there and comes up with some really stupid stuff. There's actually one video she does where she talks about how Batman's cape prevents his butt from being seen. And that's bad because Catwoman's butt is seen all the time. And the problem is not that Batman... The problem is Batman's not it's not easy for her to see Batman's ass as it is for anyone else to see Catwoman's ass. And she comes up with some very off-the-wall, very stupid stuff. In one instance, she actually put Samus Aran from the Metroid Prime series up as a damsel in distress in one video. And I'm like, wait, hold up. Samus Aran is the one that you play as throughout the entire game. In fact, many guys were pleasantly shocked when they found out that the character you were playing as was a hot blonde chick. But as usual, you have these feminists in gaming, as where everywhere else, who have to go out there and push their misandryism out on everyone. They claim there's a patriarchy and all this nonsense. No. But you still have these journos. Now, here's the thing. Here's your games journalist. Also, do not contact this person. The point of my videos is so that you can just point and laugh at this idiot. Okay? Let's look through the profile, though, here. Mary, girl from Canada. Gaming journalist and award-winning marketing gal. Doubt that. Toronto star. And many others as freelance. Women in games advocate. We already have women in games. You're going to see this right now in this level of stupidity. Mary writes on Twitter, men, I don't want to play as a girl. Deal with it. And then she puts up here different characters from different gaming franchises. One, you have Jill here, I believe, from Resident Evil. I believe this is Jill, which Resident Evil is from the 90s. You played as Jill in the 90s, okay? Back when sexism, back when the patriarchy was supposed to be at its most powerful. We were playing as Jill from Resident Evil. You also have Lara Croft, which, by the way, I would state that the Lara Croft back in the 90s and early 2000s was actually much better than this one. Lara Croft actually had a set of tits. She ran around, was confident, kicked ass throughout the entire series. The game was based on a serious amount of skill. In fact, if you ever look at old run-throughs of the game, it used a 3D grid system. And some people could just fluidly fly through the game because they understood how the grid system worked, and they understood how the grid distance that Lara could jump, and they could make contact in certain areas. You literally could see people run up a staircase, and they could backflip and front flip and do some crazy acrobatics with Lara Croft all the way up a staircase like it was nothing. I mean, she's practically like Spider-Man. Oh, we have the Angry Lesbian from Angry Lesbian versus Angry Tranny. Yeah. And then you got this chick from Horizon Zero Dawn, which, here's the thing. Horizon Zero Dawn, of the 3 games that are on here, Ellie in The Last of Us Part 2 is the only one that's had a failing franchise, as far as I know. Jill comes from Resident Evil, which is an amazing franchise. It has a massive player base. Lara Croft has a massive fan base from all the way back in the 90s, back when Xena was on the screen. And then you have, I can't remember, I've never played Horizon Zero Dawn. But I know the game has a following. Even, I've said this before, there are some games I don't play because I'm just not interested. The whole end of the world fighting with a bow and arrow against robots, that's what I saw in the trailers. And I was like, I'm more of a gun guy. I like to have guns in my game. There may be guns in Horizon Zero Dawn. Tell me in the comments. If there are guns, I may actually attempt to play this. But I know this character has an amazing following. Monster Hunter, one of the games that my wife plays, and that I play a bit as well. In there, you actually have a skin for this character that you can unlock if you do certain things. So I know the character, because I mean, this character obviously has the same status as Dante and Geralt, obviously from The Witcher. So I mean, I don't know what you were trying to prove here, but she basically says men. Now this is where she starts to pathetically try to backtrack. Y'all, I didn't even say all men, relax. This is just proving my point that the industry can be toxic. No. This is proving the point. The point that most men... I have a tractor coming by right now. The point that most men are proving right now is that you are toxic. And that toxic game journals like this, who have really nothing better to do, they want to write really good politics. They want to be at CNN writing for the CNN staff, but they're stuck at like Kotaku or something like that. And so that you get stuff like, oh, we're talking about the PlayStation 5, but now we're also going to flip over to Donald Trump, the economy, and why racism is a reason not to buy the PlayStation 5. That was an actual, that, ladies and gentlemen, was an actual article. But here you can see on the screen, she's flipping out right now, trying to say, y'all, I didn't even say all men. You didn't say some men. Okay? You said all men, whether you like it or not. So you can backtrack. Great Sayaman Cabe. Nobody complained before Avi. Just sucked and dealt with it and deal with it. Man, dude, you got to learn to use a period at some point. But here we got Samus Aran. I believe we got Daisy from Super Mario Bros. These are classic. This is like old school Super NES games right here. And then you have Street Fighter, which has Chun-Li and Cammy, probably two of the most recognized fighters in all of your fighting games, besides Katana and some of the chicks from Mortal Kombat. These two here are probably the most famous. I would almost dare say that Cammy has there's about an equal level of wanting. One, because Chun-Li does her amazing kicking methods, and Cammy, because Cammy's got that thong leotard and it looks sexy. And then you've got, I can't remember what this... Is this Jill? I think it's Jill from Resident Evil as well. This is classic Resident Evil. But I mean, Abby just sucks as a character. You get no payoff at the end. She does wildly stupid stuff, and during the entire game, you're playing as the antagonist. And nobody cares about the antagonist sometimes. But I mean, going on, Rick Real Rice Coon, what a stupid fucking take. Which is the truth. Let's see, this chick, did she mention anything else? Nope, she's just kind of trying to end it there. But I mean, this is the stupidity of this. Back in the day, we had games such as Tomb Raider. We had Samus Aran. About the time, when PlayStation 2 came out and GameCube got really big, you were playing as, Samus Aran. Samus Aran's been around since I want to say she's probably been around since the 70s, I would think. And she has a massive fan base of, guess what? Men. This is just one of those stupid arguments that comes in from feminists who sit back and say, well, women are not in video games. In reality, there's a shit ton of reasons that they are. There was another take about this a while back when they did, what was the movie? I think it was Ghostbusters, where some Sony representative who's a feminist comes out and says, it's so nice that we now finally have female leads and strong women in our movies. And everyone was like, Alien? Nobody remembers Alien? Angelina Jolie and Tomb Raider movie? Nobody remembers that? There were plenty of hot chicks that were, strong female characters. In fact, there was actually a point in time, some people don't know this, there was actually a point in time during the movie industry, back when they were, making movies like Commando got big, and Missing in Action were big, and Rambo Part 2 were big. where the Asian market actually told the American market, hey, can you make us a subgenre of films where you have a female protagonist who's fighting, and all we ask is that she's most of the time blonde. We want her to be very hot, skimpily clad, and if necessary, possibly fighting in an environment where it makes her sweat. And there's an entire subgenre of action movie where it is just female protagonists who are kick-ass in the entire films. I can't remember any of them off the top of my head right now because it's been so long since I've even dealt with any of them. But take Jackie Chan movies, for instance. There was always a female protagonist in those, or a sub or co-female protagonist, usually the girl. Usually she's pretty kick-ass. She does something. James Bond, the women up to a certain point, there are many of the most famous versions of James Bond. Pussy Galore, for instance, was probably the second iteration of James Bond and Goldfinger. She was a kick-ass chick. She flew a plane back in the day when women pilots were not really a big thing. And she was a threat. I mean, James Bond couldn't just beat the crap out of her. He had to charm his way past her because she had a gun pointed at him the whole time. You also get Octopussy, who ran her own organization at one point, and then even James Bond's wife was a kick-ass spy in her own right. But this concept in video games, however, in order to believe this lie, you have to forget everything that happened in the past. Okay? I mean, how about Rain from Blood Rain, who is a vampire chick who ran around with arm blades cutting Nazis' heads off? We conveniently forgot about that woman. She's actually had a couple of movies made about her now. I think they're actually pretty good. I mean, I'm not going to say what's in the movies. I'm going to say you probably should go check them out. But like I said, this lie, it is, in order to do this, in order to accept this lie, you have to suspend your belief that there were actually good female characters in video games before you got to this point. In other words, you have to believe that, no, it's never been tried before. It has been tried, and it's been tried successfully. But you have all these game journals. That's why we get stupid shit like this all the time. Where, the character is just so damn dumb. There's actually a video recently done by Critical Drinker, where he said the problem nowadays is villains have to be neutered. And if you don't have a good villain, you don't have a good hero. Because your hero is only as powerful as the villain they have to overcome. So if you're constantly neutering your villain because your hero has a vagina and your villain has a dick, you are never going to have these heroes get to the status that male heroes have, because you can go further with them. And he made a statement in there on villains you can go further with because you're not trying to make them likable or good people. So you can really go to some crazy extents with them. Female heroes nowadays made by SJWs have even more restrictions because, one, their villain is already shit, but then two, you can't have the female protagonist get her ass kicked hardly at all. There's very little payoff, and Last of Us Part 2 is a great example of that, because you have Ellie going through there tearing stuff up. Oh, they held her down for a few minutes. It'd have been more interesting if they broke Ellie's arm while they were at it. It would have been more interesting story-wise, I think, if Ellie had actually gotten to Abby and killed her. Instead, they went the whole route of, we're going to make people feel bad about playing a video game. And that, on top of Joel's death, just kind of screwed everything up. But tell me what you think, folks. I mean, we've got this steaming hot take from these people, from these SJW feminazis. Also, this chick has green hair. I just realized that right now. Look at the picture. I thought at first that was a green hoodie. No, she actually has green hair. So we have a full-fledged stage 2 feminist right here. That's what's going on. Giving a steaming nuclear hot take right now. But anyway, folks, tell me what you think in the comments. And this time, just to be an ass about things, I'm going to ask everyone to put down their favorite female protagonist that they played as. Their favorite video game that they liked that had a female-centric character. Mine was Tomb Raider. I played the shit out of that game. But Tell me what you think, folks. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and hit the bell for notification. Helps this channel out a lot. And as always, stay safe, stay frosty. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye now.